Good afternoon and welcome to the Board of County Commissioners organizational meeting. I'm Rick Van Arsdall, and as Deputy Clerk to the Board, I'll be conducting the selection process for Chair. Before we begin, just a little about the seating. We have sat y'all in the proper order as a seat rotation in the rules of order. After we elect officers, we will recess for 10 minutes and redo it to reflect the new officers in the proper seat. Okay. And before we go any further, I believe Commissioner Overman has something to say.
Yes, I do. Customarily, we thank the existing chair for the year of service provided. I guess I need to get closer to this. So I don't have a podium up there, which I usually do. For the amazing past year of service that you provided us as the chair of the BOCC. Your strong, steadfast leadership were essential in getting us through a very challenging year dealing with the pandemic, while still moving Hillsborough County forward through the service to our citizens. Some gifts that each of us sort of came up with some ideas and contributed to for the entire board are here, and I'm gonna hand this to you, but then I'll tell you what's in it. So you, okay. To kind of give you an idea of the thought process behind some of the things there, to say thank you to you. Okay. Sure. The first one's a book. That one's easy to find. A little book. I mean, a big book. A big book, big fatter book. The first is a signed copy of They Dared to Dream, Florida Women Who Shaped History by our friend, Doris Weatherford. This book is not only signed by the author, but also by all 6 commissioners that have contributed to this effort to say thank you. We know that your love of history, and especially of Florida history, and this exceptional book highlights not only the history of Florida, our heritage, but the experiences of women, Florida women that have been leaders in our community. So thank you very, very much. And I thought that was something you might appreciate. The second gift, which is a little different than we usually do, is since you're a champion of sustainability, the next 2 gifts are so that you can share the love of your environment with your granddaughter. It is a gift set which includes a children's book, Shore Buddies and the Plastic Ocean.
We are.
And an accompanying stuffed seagull.
Ah,
yeah.
I didn't quite see it in there.
Yep, it's down there and probably in the bottom. Yeah. There's a lot of paper, so there you go. Now, what makes this seagull so interesting, the book educates upon the negative impacts of ocean plastic pollution. But what's really cool about the stuffed animal, it's made from 6 ocean-bound recycled plastic bottles.
That's awesome.
So there we're recycling and making something fun as an example for your granddaughter, and I know how special she is to you. So the last is because I think we have our favorite place we'd like to go on occasion. The final gift is a $50 gift certificate to Ella's Folk Art Cafe in Seminole Heights, so you can find a cozy place to sit and read your new books. But I just wanted to tell you how much I appreciate your leadership, and thank you, Chair Kemp, for your exceptional year of service to all of us and to the residents of Hillsborough County.
Thank you to everyone. Thank you all so much. I really should have had more probably prepared remarks, but I did write down a few things so that I wouldn't forget to say them. And I was going to say it. I was just at Ella's the last 2 nights in a row. So,
gee, I wonder how that
happened. With that, and my kids are often give me history books for Christmas. Now, probably not your typical gift to your mother, but I love them. So, thank you so much, and maybe I'll have a little time at some point to indulge a little more than I have been. But it has been an extraordinary year for all of us. I think one of the heaviest lifts that this county has ever had, just this past year. And so for that, I want to just recognize everyone in the county, all of our staff. It's just been an extraordinarily difficult year, not just for our fellow board members or county administrator, county attorney, but for everyone in this organization, I think has done incredible work that we need to be very, very proud of. I want to especially thank all the staff. I want to give some special shout outs, which have just been amazing what they've had to do in this year. And one is to communications and our technical staff and our audio staff. I just know that they have had very, very difficult times. And I'll say I was deeply appreciative to this board and to them. I, as you know, have my first and only granddaughter, Zoya, who lives in Toronto. And after I became chair and we were all still virtual, I was able to chair. That's the only time in her first year of life that I saw her, and I stayed in Toronto for a month and was able to chair virtually 2 very long meetings from Toronto. So that was an extraordinary gift that this board and our staff and everyone gave to me. And we were very worried about the technical issues, and there were none. So that's a good thing too. So very, very, really great thank you to everyone for that. And I'd also like to, I mean, the lift by everybody has been incredible, but our emergency services, our facilities, everything we had to do over and over again to look at our COVID protocol here and how we deal with that and how we deal with the kinds of strains and stresses and challenges that it put forward. We didn't know how this year would come out, and I think it's been extraordinarily well managed. I'd like to thank the clerk staff. I know that they've gone all out, and it's been a difficult year, as I've said, for us all. And I think that they have done extraordinary work in the past year. As well, development services have had to be over at Saunders Library, and again, our technical and communication staff have tried to make that happen by linking the two and making it possible for the public to come in and make sure that they had connections to speak with us. It's again been an extraordinary lift. And I'd like to thank John Evenson, who we all know has gone to great lengths to make sure that we all got our materials, books, our rides to wherever we needed to go, our safety and security. So I'd like to make sure to thank John as well. And I'll try to move through this, but it's been us all working together in really a incredible way. But to Ms. Wise, Bonnie Wise, thank you so much on your first full year as county administrator, and everyone was very thrilled with your work. I mean, you couldn't almost get higher than you got on your evaluation, but you have really done an extraordinary job, I think, in coordinating and moving forward in these challenging times. And I think everybody here is grateful. It's been extraordinary. As well, I know Christine Beck, Ms. Beck, our county attorney, and our county attorney's office at Unsung, frequently for the hours and the time, and I remember, especially at the beginning, when it was weekends and evenings. You don't think of your legal staff doing that, but there was all kinds of, information to go through about what we could do and how we could manage it. It's hard to almost believe. It's getting to be, in the rearview mirror, not quite, but it was, those times were, I know I don't have to tell you weekends and evenings, so we're all grateful to our legal staff and for the challenges that they've had this year. And I would very, very much like to thank Raquel Valdez and Laura Lawson, my aides, who I know have gone all out and are there all the time to hear from me and take my calls. I feel sorry for them, but they're extraordinary, and well loved. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And I'm grateful for this and proud of this commission. In the past year, I think we've brought change to our county. I think we managed during really unprecedented times, but I think we brought change, and I think the change has been a very, very good change as we move forward to make life better for everyone and uplift everyone in Hillsborough County. And I'm just very proud that we've been able to do that. There was the extraordinary testing and vaccine sites that were done, and I hope I didn't miss. I think I got our emergency services, our facilities on the COVID protocol, but that was extraordinary that we as a county set up extraordinary testing and vaccine sites, and we moved through it, and other counties just weren't doing it or couldn't do it with quite as well as we did. We really did remarkable service. And we've made, in the past year, we've changed what we've done, and we've made investments long-term, and I'm very proud of that turn that we've taken in the urban service area to converting septic to sewer. It's a big one. For stormwater and improving and working on our stormwater issues, for repaving our roads and growing our transportation system. For our affordable housing program that's been really quite remarkable, an investment that's new and had never been done before the last few years. For keeping and growing, I hope to see our ferry system, for really looking at our infrastructure and requiring our infrastructure, doing sound growth management, trying to do that and move that along. And I looked at Commissioner Overman on our affordable housing, and I know that that's been a special issue for Commissioner Smith, is our land use, our growth management. I've been very strong about making sure that our facilities, that we have infrastructure in place as we move forward. And I know we've all taken a heavy lift with changing the way that we have done that in the past. And, I'm just very happy, too, that this board has been very, very careful as we go forward in protecting our environment and looking and working together for all the opportunities that we have to do so within a framework and lens, I think, of equity and lifting up those in Hillsborough County who are really need our help and assistance and our look at their communities. And I think that has been a board-wide effort. So I think for that we've done a great job, and I'm very proud of the work, and I'm very grateful and honored that I was able to chair this year. Very hopeful for our future, and I look forward to the coming years. I've always said that we should be a rotating board, and we have lots of talented, capable commissioners. Our county has elected all of us. So as we move forward, I think it's a good day and a good year to come, and many good years to come.
Well, you did a very fine job of leading us. And the only two things that I would like to add to the wonderful folks that have gotten us through are our social services folks. And our budget folks. We have had 3 budgets and an amazing amount of effort to reach out to those citizens you mentioned about making sure their safety nets were good. So that I know that I've depended on them, on a daily basis. Our staffs, all of our staffs, have done a great job. And a lot of that was just setting the tone, and you did a great job. And thank you so much for all
Thank you, and thank you for mentioning. You always know when you're making your list that it's impossible. It's so huge. It's so huge. So that those departments definitely deserve the recognition for their incredible efforts.
Are there any other commissioners that would like to make some comments before I turn it back over to Rick? Okay.
All right, before we start the process, all voting will be by show of hands. And please keep your hands up till I call your name. Also, let me briefly review the process. I'll open the floor for nominations. No seconds are required. I'll continue to ask for nominations until no further nominations are received. I'll then close the floor and call for a vote on each nomination in the order they were nominated. And the first nominee to receive a majority vote is your new chair. Okay. Are there any questions? Then I'll open the floor for nominations.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Overman for chair.
Over. Commissioner Cohen? Did you? Nope. Are there any other nominations? Then I'll close the nominations, and Commissioner Overman is your chair.
Thank you, and thank you very much for the opportunity to serve. I have obviously, not to say anything about the size of your shoes, but I have big shoes to follow, and I do appreciate the opportunity to serve each of you as chair. At that point, we will open up the nominations for vice chair.
I
I'd like
nominate
to
Commissioner Myers for vice chair.
And I'll nominate Commissioner Smith.
Okay. So we have a nomination for Commissioner Myers and a nomination for Commissioner Smith. So do we vote in the order of which the nominations occurred?
Yes.
Okay,
Just ask-
thank you.
Yeah.
We don't do this very often, so I just want to make sure we get it perfectly right. So we'll take a hand indication of nomination for
Correct.
Commissioner Myers.
Right, that's correct.
Raise your hands, please. 2, 3.
White, Myers, and Hagan. That's 3.
Excellent.
No.
Okay. And then there is also a nomination for Commissioner Smith.
Overman, Kemp, Smith, and Cohen. That's 4.
So the vice chair will be served by Commissioner Smith. Congratulations. And with that, we have the next nomination for chaplain. Do we have any nominations for chaplain?
Nominate Commissioner White.
We have a nomination for Commissioner White. Are there any other nominations? I'll make a nomination for Commissioner Myers.
I decline. Commissioner White is doing an excellent job in making sure our invitation is really on point at every meeting. So thank you.
Thank you, madam. I appreciate that. Are there any other nominations for a chaplain? Seeing none? Congratulations, Commissioner White. You're doing a great job, obviously.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And may I have a point of personal privilege?
Of course.
Thank you. This is my final year on the Board of County Commissioners. I'm honored that you've made me your chaplain again. I've been chaplain for 6 of my 8 years as a commissioner and chairman an additional year. So it's just been a pleasure to have the opportunity to be in leadership on this board for all of these years, with the board being under control of both parties throughout that time frame. And Commissioner Myers, that was a great deal of statesmanship that you exhibited to decline that nomination. And I have no doubt that you're going to have many years ahead of you in serving in leadership positions on this board. And I just appreciate the opportunity that you've allowed me to serve in my final year once again as chaplain. So thank you all for that opportunity. It really means a lot to me.
And if I may also have a few remarks.
Sure. You're
I-
recognized, Commissioner Smith. Vice
Thank
Chair
you.
Smith.
Thank you. I very much appreciate the vote of the board for the position of vice chair, and I look forward to a year of serving in that capacity. I have been an activist as a citizen before I was elected, active with and engaged with many boards over the years, and I've seen good boards, and I've seen not so good boards, and I've seen mixtures, but I really feel like this board is a really good board. There's a lot of people here who do the work that I wish commissioners were doing when I was a citizen here, that would really understand the issues and listen to the citizens, and whether they vote my way or not, know that I was being heard and that they were really looking at the background of the issues. And I know we have that here. And so it's an honor and a pleasure to look forward to the next year of leading with you, Commissioner Overman, and serving this board. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Smith. Any others? Well, I just want to, I'll take us to adjournment to take our break for that, but I would also like to say thank you all. The good news is I think we have done amazing work over the last several years. I have been very proud of all the work that we've gotten done, the teamwork that we work together to do the right things in order to best serve our citizens, especially during the economic crisis we've experienced, as well as the health crisis we've experienced. It's not always been easy. We've had differencing of opinions. But I think at the end of the day, we all are committed to the public service of the citizens of Hillsborough County. And I look forward to working with you as a team in order to make sure that our citizens have the things that they need and that we are good stewards of the taxpayers for Hillsborough County. And thank you so much for the confidence. I appreciate it. And with that, we're going to adjourn for 10 minutes? 10 minutes. Okay. We'll be back at 2 o'clock. Thank you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Board of County Commissioner organizational meetings. The following meeting, we will select various different boards. In the past years, it has been customary for this board to renew the prior year's appointments. And then after an opportunity for commissioners' minor changes, should that be a request. So I would entertain a motion to that effect on the floor. So we have a motion by Commissioner Kemp, second by Commissioner Smith.
May I be recognized?
Commissioner Cohen.
I would support it, but I want to ask for a change. I would like to ask that Commissioner Myers serve on the Aviation Authority in the coming year.
Okay. Commissioner Myers.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Cohen, but I'm going to serve on the Career Source. That's going to be my first choice. But thank you.
I think this was in addition to the motion of leaving everything the same.
No, I want to make changes when we call.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to keep everything the same unless there are minor changes. So we can keep everything the same and then make recommendations for changes? Is that?
You need to vote on it first.
We need to vote on keeping everything the same, and then we will entertain minor modifications as a secondary process. Is that correct? Okay. With that, can we get a roll call? Oh, well, I actually.
She doesn't understand.
Can we get a point of clarification? So the vote is to keep everything the same as we currently serving on the various boards now?
Correct. We will keep everything the same the way they are now, and then after this vote of keeping everything the same, we will entertain minor modifications of those positions from where they are now.
That is so confusing.
All right, Commissioner Kemp, I've heard from you, but I'll acknowledge you now.
Thank you. I don't think I've said anything, just
Oh, I'm
moved
sorry.
it.
I just saw it.
But,
Okay, sorry.
but I just wanted for clarification,
Mm-hmm.
I support the motion. Obviously, I've seconded it, but typically for newer board members that, if they are interested or someone's interested in giving up boards, that's what we do after this, just for clarification.
After we approve the same board the way it is, and then we entertain minor changes of the board positions. In other words, as I'll give you an example. I have a board of which I realize I have a challenge being on. And so while I'm happy with all the board positions I currently have, I'm going to offer a board that I would love someone else to take. In addition to that, we have a board position that I can't serve because we're in an election year. So the chair normally would serve on that board, and so that needs to be addressed. So there's some minor tweaks that we do need to occur. So the vote on the table at the moment is to keep the boards the way they are now, and then we'll have an opportunity to make those minor tweaks after we pass the basic boards that are currently in those positions. I see Commissioner Myers, you came off. Do you have a comment?
Yes.
You're recognized.
I think, Madam Chair, you should allow us to vote and not make the changes, because then we have to come back and make the tweaks afterwards, and just open it up and let us go down the road to vote however we would like to vote and serve on a particular board.
Normally, that is something that we've done, but in the past, what we've done is we've gone through and selected each of the individual boards. The motion has been to keep the boards the same, and then we will address minor modifications after that. Commissioner White, you're recognized.
I can live with either process. I think either process gets us from point A to point B. I'm just going to ask, as has been customary in the past, I'm sure this is going to happen anyway, but it's typically Ms. Finley that'll read board by board what the assignments are at the end of the entire process. I would just like to ask that be done in the end so that there's no confusion.
Excellent recommendation. I can see that as being an option as well. Commissioner Myers, you're back in the queue.
It didn't take me off.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fine. Any other comments? Okay. Can we'll take a roll call vote, because I'm not sure we can do voting. I don't have that ability with what I have.
We should be able to do it. Go ahead
Okay.
and use Q. tablets.
I have a whole new set of equipment up here, so I'm trying to get used to it. Sorry about that.
I'm still in the queue, so can you take me out of the queue, please?
Uh-huh.
Usually the chair has the ability to
Got it.
remove a speaker.
Yep, just did it.
Commissioner Myers? Motion carried 6-1. Commissioner Myers voted no.
Okay, so currently, we have a list of boards in place that has been the previous year's boards. I'll entertain motion for changes.
I move that we make changes to the current boards.
Do you want to make a specific recommendation? To all the current boards? Is that what you're suggesting?
I move that we make, I move for a motion to make changes to all of the boards if the board so, commissioner so desire.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I-
Point
I
of
have a
order,
second?
we just resolved this.
Agreed. I'm waiting to hear a second. We have a second?
Madam
why
Chair,
it's so confusing.
I'll second that because essentially what I'm hearing, and it's formal, it's a very formal motion, but essentially what I'm hearing is a motion to simply open the floor for amendments to this list that's in front of us. And if that's what the motion is, I'll gladly support it.
Would you like to clarify the motion, Commissioner Myers?
Can we have Ms. Finley to call the list? Because last year, as I recall, being a new commissioner, Commissioner Kemp nominated like the first 3 or 4, which was hard, MPO and all, that we all agreed to serve on. And then Ms. Finley went down the list, and we were able to select whatever the board. So I'm just trying to get new clarification.
But you just took a vote to keep the boards as they are.
And that was my question when I was asking earlier.
So now what she's asking you to do is if you want to change one of the boards, to let them know, like you said, Career Source, you'd like to serve on the
Okay.
Career Source, so that's what you want to ask.
For the clarification.
I had a feeling that's where you were trying to go. So, would you like to restate your motion based on what you now understand?
Yes. So do I need to make a motion, or can I just come out and say what board I'd like to serve on? Because I don't think I need a motion if I want to state what board I want to serve on. I guess that's where the
Okay.
confusion coming in.
Okay.
I should be able to state what board I want to serve on since the motion is passed.
Right, and then if you would ask that you be able to serve on Career Source, and then if Commissioner Kemp wants to give it up, then you would get it unless somebody else wanted the same board.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Myers, would you like to withdraw your motion?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Because I didn't see where it needed to be a motion to decide what board you want to serve on. But nevertheless, I like to have the opportunity to serve on Career Source.
Okay. Myers would like Career Source. Do we have any other recommendations? Or Commissioner Hagan, you are in the queue.
Well, we have to address one at a time.
You do?
So we have to
Okay.
take that one.
Okay.
So that would be up to Commissioner Kemp if she wanted to give it up.
Right. And I'm willing to give that to Commissioner Myers. So Commissioner Myers, you may have Career Source.
Thank you, Commissioner Kemp.
Excellent. Finally getting there. Commissioner Hagan, you had your name in the queue.
I think I'm okay for now. Thank you.
Okay. Are there any other minor recommended changes or requests? The only other item that we do need to address is that other than I would really like to serve on the Economic Development Council. Currently, I think, who sits on that board? Commissioner Kemp, you sit on that board.
And I would be willing to give that as well to you.
Really?
Yeah, I would be.
Excellent. Okay. So I would like to serve in that capacity. Traditionally, that was served by the chair, but I think we changed the rules.
No, it was, well, we had a, something that said the chair or their appointee served, or we said that that was a rule, but it was not.
Oh, okay.
It was never one. It was just a rumor and just without any, so it is, just.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you very much. I am actually also, thank you for that. I'm also interested in potentially offering to Commissioner Cohen the hospital authority. Would you be interested, sir?
I'll be happy to do that if you'd like me to. It's mostly Tampa General Hospital, right?
It is.
Yeah.
You are actually the landlord for the land on Tampa Hospital, for where the hospital of Tampa General Hospital is located. So the role there is to act as landlord and be the financial steward of the contracts and the insurance as it pertains to the land and the hospital, primarily. They have some outstanding questions that I believe that you would be well suited to handling the finances there. And that's why I would make that recommendation and request for you to consider that board.
I'll be happy to do that.
They do meet quarterly on Mondays. So as long as that doesn't conflict with one of your other boards, thank you for accepting that. Excellent. Any other changes requested?
The election canvassing board,
Oh, right,
you
right.
would not be able to serve on that.
Given that I'm not able to serve on that, I'd like to make a recommendation that Commissioner Kemp serve, because you're the only.
She has
well,
to,
actually, I think you have to. 'cause
No,
you're
no,
not running.
point of, I'll just point of order, because I've gone through this like several times with our attorneys, and maybe it actually, it's on our list, but it's actually never, I wondered how this worked before, because I heard all kinds of things. With the rules of order this year, I was checking all of this out and trying to get clarification, and maybe Ms. Beck can give that clarification maybe once and for all, but maybe not.
Yes, there's actually provisions in the statutes that make it so that a commissioner is unable to really serve on the canvassing board. So what ends up happening is there's representatives of the supervisor of election and 2 judges. Mary Helen knows this a lot more intricately than me, but I don't think it hurts to have the name there, but in function, Commissioner Kemp is absolutely right that it's actually prevented by statutes because of the role of the commissioner in the.
So, I mean, I'll accept having my name put there, but there's never really service by a commissioner, because a commissioner is either running for election or if they choose to endorse anyone in any way, so that,
And if it would help, I can send a written explanation following this meeting because I don't think I've explained it very well, but I can give you the quotes of the statute so you understand it better, and then you'll see that it is why it's been effectively this way for decades.
I will state for the record, though, that I participated in it at one point. I was not on the ballot and did not offer up any endorsements during that cycle, but.
then I guess it's just as well to have a commissioner's name there. And
Okay. So Commissioner Kemp, you're willing to keep your name there? Okay. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Any other minor changes or tweaks? Hearing none. Would
I
you?
move to adopt all the changes that have been discussed.
Excellent. We have a motion by Commissioner White, a second by Commissioner Smith. Hearing no further comments, I see, yep. Okay, I forgot to clear you out of the queue. I'm sorry, Commissioner Kemp. We'll take a vote, and then if would you please actually read through all the board appointments so when we're done with this process? Thank you.
Commissioners Cohen and Kemp.
Record your vote. Sorry.
Thank you. Motion carried 7-0.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay. Board of County Commissioner Chairman, Commissioner Overman, Vice Chairman, Commissioner Smith. Chaplain, Commissioner White. Affordable Housing, Commissioner Overman. Agency on Bay Management, Commissioner White. Arts Council, Commissioner Smith. Aviation Authority, Commissioner White. Career Source, Commissioner Myers. Children's Board, Commissioner Myers. Commission on Human Trafficking, Commissioner Overman. Department of Defense, Commissioner Overman. Early Learning Coalition, Commissioner Myers. Environmental Protection Chair, Commissioner Smith. Vice Chair, Commissioner Kemp. Expressway Authority, Commissioner Hagan. Fair Authority, Commissioner Myers. Hillsborough River Interlocal Planning Board, Commissioner White. Hart, we have Commissioners Kemp, Overman, Smith, and Myers. Hospital Authority, Commissioner Hagan, Commissioner Cohen. Juvenile Justice, Commissioner Myers. Museum of Science and Industry, Commissioner Kemp. Port Authority, Commissioner Cohen. Public Safety Coordinating Council, Commissioner Overman. Southwest Florida Water Management District, Commissioner Kemp. Straz, Commissioner Cohen. Tabarda, Commissioner Kemp. Tampa Bay Estuary Program, Commissioner White. Tampa Bay Regional Planning Council, Commissioner Cohen as the member, Commissioner Smith as the alternate. Tampa Bay Water, Commissioner Cohen, Commissioner Smith. EDC, Commissioner Overman. Tampa Planning Organization, Commissioner Kemp, Overman, Smith, Cohen, and Myers, with Commissioner White being the alternate. Tampa Sports Authority, Commissioner Hagan. Florida Aquarian, Commissioner Smith. Value Adjustment Board, Commissioners Kemp and Cohen. Tourist Development Council, the chairman serves, so that's Commissioner Overman. And Election Canvassing Board, Commissioner Kemp.
Thank you, Ms. Finley. I truly appreciate that. That'll keep us all straight, know where we're going to be, and actually and advise the public on the alternative boards that we all serve on, in addition to the Board of County Commission and our land use things. So I think we all have our work cut out for us over the next year, and thank you all very, very much for serving our citizens so well in Hillsborough County. And when the meeting is adjourned.